If I was asked what my favourite Elder Scrolls game was, I'd probably pick Skyrim. It's more polished, looks a lot nicer, and is much more balanced than the previous titles. And the community is continuing to flourish, even in 2018, while those who prefer the older titles seem like mean, bitter losers who hated Skyrim just because it changed up things. While I enjoyed Oblivion and Morrowind, Skyrim will always hold a special place in my heart. And no, I'm not just going to talk about the things I like about the game, I'm going to say why this game is so special to me. I remember when Skyrim dropped its first trailer. I watched it just minutes after it was released and couldn't stop rewatching it for all those little details that other people might have otherwise missed. Like the way that the man blocked fire with his shield and the way the ground became deformed in real time as the dragon crashed into the ground, all the way to the way that the grass swayed in the wind differently depending on how high up you were or what the weather was like. When the game finally released, I begged my mum to let me go out and buy the game since I was never allowed to pre-order games. Eventually, after a day or two, she brought me out to the local game store where I excitedly bounced out of the car and into the store, completely ignoring every section of the store until I got to the new releases section where I locked onto one of the only copies left of Skyrim. Mum brought the game for me and I waited anxiously for her to finish her grocery shopping. I read the back of the cover countless times, looking at all the cool pictures of gameplay they had printed on it, thinking, I could be doing this right now if I didn't have to wait. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, we got home and I excitedly ran inside and booted up my old PlayStation 3 with a disc inside. The game opened up and I hit new game, thinking of all the fun I was about to have. Then I was disappointed. The opening felt boring and scripted, and once I got out, I wondered why there was any reason at all I was exploring the world as a god. I did enjoy watching the villagers and guards amble about, carrying out everyday tasks. What if a person got attacked? Would the guards be able to protect the victim? What if a dragon attacked and nobody but me was there to stop it? Thoughts like these rushed through my head. What if the bandit from a nearby camp came through and killed one of my favourite NPCs? Of course, as I thought of this, I couldn't let that happen. I went to that camp and killed everyone. It wasn't hard since as a child I always played on the easiest difficulty, but in the camp I found a treasure map. I had no idea where the map led, and I don't think I even discovered that part of the map yet. But the thought of priceless treasure out there waiting for me to find was exhilarating. I looked around at my surroundings, looking for somewhere to explore, and then I saw it, the mountain. Just like real life, the closer I got, the bigger and more impressive it became. As I rushed past mountain goats and into the snowy upper region, I wondered how a game could even simulate all of this on a single disc powered by current gen technology. And then I got completely destroyed by a troll. I wasn't a god after all, and this one annoying creature was restricting me from getting up the rest of that mountain. I'd show him. I rushed into a nearby cave, only to get destroyed by vampires. All of a sudden, the world was growing around me. I knew my place and I knew my enemies. I knew that one day the world would be different and I could one day overcome even those powerful foes. I had hoped that these first few hours would have been as amazing as the rest of the game would be, and it was. I remember sitting in one of the main cities looking at all the quests I had to do. I was getting new quests faster than I could complete them. For every quest I completed, several more would swoop in and take its place. It was completely overwhelming for my small mind and I almost wanted it to stop. This continued, not just for the next couple hours, but for days and days. I remember falling asleep on the couch halfway through one of the main quests, mind buzzing from the opportunities the game had offered me. Tens of hours after Oblivion's world became repetitive, Skyrim just kept on giving enough just to keep me on my toes, and I would enjoy challenging myself by setting myself goals like kill a dragon with only a fist, or steal every single item in a town without getting caught. Just as I thought I was on top of the world, the game would throw a stupidly high level mage to put me back in my place. The main storyline is a huge improvement over the previous games. In my personal opinion, it's still the weak point of the game, just like the other Elder Scrolls games. After a while, the dragons became a flying joke, but I still enjoyed watching the villagers battling for their lives to defeat the winged beast. In 10 years' time, when this game has become obsolete and a new wave of people have come through with the new Elder Scrolls game, thinking you're some old bitter nerd who thought Skyrim was better than the new one. You know they don't understand. They grew up with the better games that grew off of Skyrim's strengths and weaknesses. You too will become an old, sour, bitter nerd who hates games just because they changed things.